outside looking in at everything that was offered up, I would say that outside of Skeleton Crew, um, for the Lucasfilm side of things, there really isn't anything new to hang your hat on. Um, they showed a few pieces of some footage of ideas that they had, but there really wasn't anything talking about the Grogu Mando film. There really wasn't much to talk about anything else. And I brought this up specifically just to look at the downvote for this. This Snow White trailer is something weird. This has over 3 million views, this particular trailer of Snow White, and right now it has 354,000 downvotes based on the estimation by that, you know, that little thumbs down, return the dislike, whatever it happens to be. But I find that fascinating because it just shows you the pushback that the fans have for the recreation of classics. And in the case of Disney, the classic animated feature length film is nobody wants this. And they really don't want what Rachel Zegler's been selling them. And,
I think
there's a massive.
More important. I'm going to be the contrarian again.
Go for it.
Say that no one has wanted any of the live action remakes, yet most of them have done billions of dollars.
Billions?
Sure. Yeah, they've all accumulated more than, they did extremely well.
Okay, collectively.
Collectively. I'm not saying which one is
which is the perfect mindset coming out of Canada. Yeah.
Almost every single one has done well except for the most recent DEI infused ones.
Right.
But
and the Disney Plus ones. Let's not forget a couple of them were released straight to Disney Plus.
Pinocchio was dreadful.
And also like the Lady and what's it called again?
Lady and the Tramp?
Lady and the Tramp. Thank you.
So my point is, I didn't think the trailer looked as bad as the initial offering they made with Snow White and the 7 immigrants.
You mean the dirty hippies, the ones you could
Dirty
probably
hippies.
smell?
But I'm using modern lingo now. I upped it to 7 immigrants.
Yeah, okay.
So
the 7 illegal immigrants that we need to raise the border wall just to keep out. Yeah,
correct. Border drug rape. I can't use the other. Sorry, I almost said the word. And so from that perspective, I thought, okay, maybe they pulled a Sonic and they've now turned it into a fully CGI, except for Rachel. The biggest joke is that Rachel is nowhere near as gorgeous as Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is luminous in this, and Rachel looks terrible. She looks like a shriveled apple doll head.
She's in the wrong film.
And I would say to you that if you are going to 2020 this or pre-cogging this, it's Rachel Ziegler that's going to crash it. Now the thing is, she can sing, and it looks like they're just going to have her, go through the songs.
Well, there's new songs in here. They're not going to make a shot-for-shot recreation, which, if you suggested they had successful efforts in the live action before, it was because they were doing faithful recreations that were shot-for-shot. And the minute they deviated from that, they deviated from what the audience wanted, and they're doing it again.
Well, they always had to pad them out, right? Well, in this case, now they're starting to pad it out with DEI instead of just other story elements.
But I didn't hate this trailer. I'm going to be on record.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
Detriment.
I will also.
Well, that's because the trailer hides some of the worst sins. If you saw the leaked footage, of the dwarves, they look like ass. But I'm in the line of I think that those hobos were just stand-ins for either they were stand-ins for the dwarves and or they're like other characters we haven't seen yet.
I don't know. It seems weird to me. I mean, to me, it looked like they had their screen dresses and everything. I didn't see like any CGI markers or anything like that on them.
They could be the bandits or whatever they were talking about. There's also the huntsman, and they were hanging out with the prince. So I don't know if they are the dwarves. That was my point. And I just
all true.
And here's the other thing that makes me, because we covered this like a week and a half ago on Mead. There was a little person actress who was talking about this whole thing with Peter Dinklage and this whole to do with all the business going on about not hiring little people anymore. And they didn't say anything about the Snow White situation. So I don't think Snow White was ever planning on hiring any little people outside of that one person that's in the cast. But what did happen was Taika Waititi's Time Bandits. She said she was in talks, and other people that she knew were in talks to be in that show. And as soon as Peter Dinklage went on his fucking tirade, they went radio silent. And then when she reached out to find out what was going on, they told her they were going in a different direction, basically.
Although it looks like there's little people in it, but siding with the evil folks. The good people are all...
Oh, that's going to set well.
Yeah, so if you take a look at the trailer, you'll see, oh, there's a whole bunch of little people in it. Oh, they're all on the side of the evil guy.
Yeah. So thank you, Peter Dinklage. Really did wonders for the little people community in Hollywood right there. I'm sure they're all very grateful.
He's making good money. Why should he care?
You know, he hogged all the roles for himself.
That's right. Couldn't
work out better.
And then he kicked the stepladder out from underneath him.
That's right.
Better not go to any little people parties or reunions in the near future.
That's right.
From what I heard, he is very, like, people are not happy with him in that community at all. But anyway, that being said, Culture, I know we only got you for a limited more time here, but this thing is getting just ratioed to hell.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
I like I said, I mean,
YouTube.
Yeah, at the time that I've been keeping track, this thing has gone from 30 or 40,000 downvotes since we saw it show up to 354,000 downvotes to only 59,000 upvotes. But I think the thing that's most telling is that's over, it's even more than I thought, 5.8 million views. People aren't loving this. And the thumbs down estimation is not anywhere close to accurate, I would figure.
I would say, though, is that I think that the ratio we are seeing here is more of a reaction to Disney's recent reputation and this movie's history, more so than it is the response to the trailer itself.
I'm with you, Andre. I was just going to say that there is a nerd erotic bounce here.
I wouldn't necessarily bring him into it, but if you want to go with that, yes, fine. But I think that if this movie hadn't had the history that it does, if you didn't have Rachel Zegler's weird moment before any J.D. Vance or anything like that, if you didn't have Disney's recent ventures into trancing the kids' territory and stuff like that, and you had this exact trailer, but without the history it is now bogged down in and part of, it might still have been ratioed, but I don't think the ratio would have been a third of what it is right now.
I'm agreeing with Andre there. Yeah. I think this is a bit, you're saying it's a bit reflexive.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I would
agree.
This
is an indictment on Disney as a whole and not just this one movie. But what's bad for Disney here is that people aren't going to forget. And the ratio that we're seeing right here, unless this movie, when it comes out, will blow people away and pull an Aladdin, will people go like, oh, this was actually pretty decent. This is very bad news for this movie because the audience, the ones that are paying attention and the early influencers, the ones that tell all their family and friends whether to go or not, are stoked against this movie. And it has to fight on all cylinders in order to overcome the bad hype that is against it. It can be done. If for some miracle they are actually able to turn this into a good movie, this still can be a hit. But the odds are solidly against it.
Well, look, you guys are making compelling points about the reaction to Disney more so than the film itself, which I would say.
I think partially this is also a reaction to Rachel. Yeah. I think she legitimately turns people off. I think she legitimately rubs people the wrong way. I think because look, I've been arguing with idiots for the last 2 days over that chick who got booted from the Scream franchise, the Melissa what's-her-face, right?
Yeah.
And so she's got a little bit of a fan base. I don't see anybody ever coming to her defense. I don't think anybody really likes her.
You were saying.
Sorry.
Oh, no. All I was going to say, well, Tom actually jumped right on what I was going to say, but I think that what bears out is what's happening in the chat here, and the fact that Disney still left the chat open. But I mean, the comments are right in line with what everybody's thinking. Evil Queen, magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all? Mirror, you are. The end.
Yeah, this movie should be really short.
Yeah. You know, and it's like some people are like, if I was the prince, I would save Gal Gadot from Snow White. You know, it's just they keep going. I mean, Disney's next step is going to be.
What was the one that was really good? Hi ho, there's no work for little people, though.
Oh yeah, and then up here at the top,
like that.
Yeah, one up here says no dwarves were hired during the making of our film.
Yeah.
Except that's not true. I think there's one little person in here that's actually playing Grumpy, but that's, yeah. Congratulations to Peter Dinklage, who got 7 dwarf actors fired and replaced with CGI, and it just goes on and on and on and on. But these comments are worth it. No, these comments are worth it, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, it's so whistle while you work. No dwarves were hired. These comments are harsh. Right.
I wish that you could kind of like have that disclaimer at the end of the movie. No animals were harmed during the making of this movie, and no dwarves were hired either.
Yeah. Well, I think
dwarves were subjected to work. Yeah.
Well, and that's a real shame.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There, you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe, and join us.